Thanks very much, everybody. So I'm delighted to bring this motion to the Council. So I think the first thing to say is that the failure to build sufficient houses for our residents has long been an issue. I think we realise that. And certainly successive governments have struggled to match their own electoral promises to build hundreds of thousands of homes with the reality. Now, it's not unique to the chaotic government that we currently got, this situation, but similarly, we recognise here the need to build houses in the right places, particularly for younger families and younger people. And as such, when this planning reform was first mooted, I felt there was a real opportunity to be optimistic, with an opportunity to fix a system that has been letting residents down for a long time. On this side, we hoped that proposals would do three things. First of all, bolster councils' ability to build more affordable homes. Secondly, strengthen our ability to build active transport infrastructure into our developments. And thirdly, enable us to significantly speed up our attempt to fight the climate emergency by building more sustainable homes. That's what we hoped. Unfortunately, our hopes have been dashed because rather than improving the situation, these proposals make the situation far worse and put our countryside under threat. And I just want to limit myself to highlighting a few issues. First is the assumption from the Conservatives that the public and local councils are to blame for slow building rates. Their solution is to force councils to allocate land for growth. And that would see private sector developers being given automatic planning permission, which effectively is a developer's charter. Now, the assumption that low house building rates is the fault of communities has been disproved time and time again, because the LGA found recently that local councils have approved 90% of planning applications. But since 2009, councils have granted planning permission for more than 2.5 million homes, but only 1.5 million have been built. And that's because more than 1 million homes are on the shelves of housing developers waiting to be built. They are land banking. And rather than blaming communities, this government had the opportunity to really crack down on that and has failed to do so. So, we need to focus on the climate emergency. We need to focus on carbon reduction, sustainability at the centre of this policy. Depressingly, little is said about that within the proposed reforms. Now, lastly, these proposals do nothing to improve our ability to provide affordable housing. You know, we really need to focus on that. And we already have an affordability crisis in this county anyway, we know that. Now, I'm sure no one in this chamber is suggesting that our planning system is not broken, because it is. In fact, the last time this country managed to build 300,000 homes year after year was in the 1970s. Now, I knew there was something good about the 1970s, apart from ABBA, obviously. But, you know, there really was something good about the 70s in that. And so now, rather than stripping control from councils and local communities, the government should be looking to empower and create good quality, sustainable, affordable homes while tackling the banking of land that's left 1 million homes unbuilt. Now, it looks as if, finally, that a backbench revolt of Conservative MPs in Parliament may force the government to fiddle around the edges of this final planning bill, or even to force them to rethink the proposals altogether. But we can't rely on Conservative MPs to hold back the worst excessives of Johnson's right-wing government. Now, by voting for this motion today, we can send a clear message to Conservative MPs in this county and further afield that they must stand with our communities to oppose these proposals and undertake a full review that puts empowerment, sustainability and affordability front and centre of planning reform. Please support this motion. Ditch the planning reforms. Make sure local people have their say over where housing is built. Please support the motion. Thank you.